I think it's really important that the university is confronting itself also with the past, and today we will talk a lot about anti-Semitism and anti-Semitism in the past but also in the present, and I think it's really important right now also if you look at studies and elections coming up. I think it's really good that we do this today, and better late than never.
WU is celebrating its 125th anniversary, and of course we have a lot to celebrate. We are very proud of a lot of milestones, but of course we can't ignore the dark times of our history, and therefore it is really important in terms of the institutional responsibility to reflect on the role WU played not only during the Nazi time but also how we dealt with Nazis. Today's event is about being closed to exclusion and open to inclusion, which means that we are presenting, first of all, our research results on the people we granted honorary doctorates, but most importantly, to present the victims of the National Socialism, people who had to leave WU Vienna.
As historian, my task was, is and remains to browse through archives and to identify all the people who once had belonged to WU's predecessor, the University for World Trade, and to identify those who have become victims of National Socialist persecution in one way or other.
Research about Jewish life in Vienna is being conducted both in Israel, in German-speaking countries. We have in Israel at least 10,000 Jews who came from Austria to Israel, and now we are commemorating 75 years after, 80 years after, and so things come back to life. The question is, how do you turn the results of the research into education? How do you use it in schools?
The so-called commemorative project started in late 2012. That is to say, more than 10 years I'm active now in doing research on those people who have been persecuted by National Socialism. During the last 10 years, I identified more than 150 persons who in one way or other have been persecuted by the Nazi regime. Furthermore, I get in contact with descendants of those people who once belonged to this university, and in some cases I really got interesting information, additional information or additional documents which I could not find in official archives, but which are to be found within the families of these persons. So my task is, and certainly remains, to identify all the people, and the names of these people finally are presented on the memorial.